Hello and welcome to Shakespeare Hill's weekly newsletter. This is not a trend. Regenerative is not a trend, organic is not a trend, 100% grass fed is not a trend, and your health is certainly not a trend. We have been conditioned to believe that health, physique, and nutrition are things we can pick up and put down as they rise and fall with the social media cycle. A new framework arrives convincingly packaged, and we put down whatever we were doing and reach for something newer, shinier, and more fashionable. For many people, the choices they make around food are not because they believe it will lead them to their longest and healthiest life, but because it promises them something faster, or more visible, or more aligned with what everyone around them seems to be doing. We have all watched our health monetized, packaged, and marketed back to us as a product with a shelf life, and most of us at some point have bought it. But health is not a trend. Your health is your life. The compounding interest of nourishment. Think about compounding interest. When you invest money consistently and crucially leave it alone, something remarkable happens. The early returns feel modest, almost underwhelming. You put in the work, you stay the course, and for a while it seems like not very much is happening. But the curve is bending quietly underneath the surface. Each year builds on the last. The investment you made a decade ago is now generating returns on its returns. The patience, it turns out, was always the strategy. Nourishing your body works the same way. Every meal of real food is a deposit. You may not feel it tomorrow, and you may not feel it next month, but stay consistent and the returns compound in energy, in immunity, in longevity, and in the quiet accumulation of a body that has been treated well over a long period of time. Now, here is where it gets honest. Most people who follow health trends are not lazy. They are not uncommitted. They are genuinely trying. But when we follow trends, we are constantly moving our investment, never leaving it in one place long enough to grow. Each new approach resets the clock, and the deposits don't carry over. The problem isn't patience exactly. It's that the trends will keep coming, and without a more fundamental understanding of what real nourishment is, there will always be something new and convincing to switch to. The problem isn't your patience. The problem is never understanding what a real investment looks like in the first place. Please see the newsletter in your inbox for the two graphs, but the graph doesn't collapse. It just never rises because every time the curve is about to bend, the investment is moved on. The account is emptied and reopened somewhere else, and the process starts again from zero. This is what trend-driven health produces, not failure, but perpetual beginnings. A life spent at the start of something that never gets to become anything. A species-appropriate diet. So what is a real investment? What does genuine nourishment actually look like? The answer isn't new. It predates every trend by hundreds of thousands of years. If you go back to evolutionary history, to the long arc of how human beings have lived and eaten across time, you will find something remarkably consistent. Real whole food. Food that was grown, raised, hunted, or gathered, food without a label, without a shelf life extension, without an ingredient list that requires a chemistry degree to interpret. Food that the body recognizes because it has been eating it in one form or another for as long as we have existed. This is a species-appropriate diet. This is not a trend. This is biology. Trends are fickle. Our evolutionary relationship with real food has held fast over millennia. When we eat the way we were built to eat, we are not following a framework or a philosophy. We are simply returning to something that the body already understands. Real food is not a trend. It is the oldest investment there is. And like all good investments, it compounds. When we talk about being regenerative, organic, and 100% grass-fed, we're not using fashionable language because it makes us sound different. We farm this way because it is the closest we can get to nature. It is real, it is raw, and it is honest. And it is the opposite of a trend. It is a commitment to producing food in its truest form, the way it has always existed, and the way the body has always known how to use it. Regenerative is not a trend. Regenerating the land means nourishing it in the same way it nourishes our animals and in turn nourishes us, with the view that this land should outlive us and continue to provide abundance for generations to come. Regenerative farming is a lifelong commitment. For as long as this world turns, the farm we have spent our time stewarding should hum with health, so that we can pass it in good faith to the hands that come after ours. Organic is not a trend. Farming without synthetic fertilizers, chemical inputs, or harmful topicals means we are not causing damage that we cannot see. We observe nature and we are creative. Where we cause harm, it will always be in ways that we have chosen and we can account for. We will not spray a chemical that runs downstream to a neighboring farmer, a faraway ecosystem, or a family that we have never met. Organic farming guides us towards producing food in its truest form, without residues hiding in plain sight. 100% grass-fed is not a trend. Feeding our animals their biologically appropriate diet means encouraging their natural expression and understanding their biological requirements so they can perform at their best and produce the most nutrient-rich food possible for you. Grass-fed is not a label we put on our product because it sounds good. It is simply how things have always worked before we decided to change them. Every bite you take is either a deposit or a withdrawal. Real food, grown properly, farmed honestly, produced with care for the land and for the animal is a deposit. It compounds, it builds something. The body you will have in 20 years is the sum of the choices you are making right now. You were built to eat real food. It is the most species appropriate, evolutionary consistent, biologically sound investment you can make. And unlike every trend that has come before it, it will still be true long after the next one arrives. Your health is not a trend. Don't treat it like one. The farm philosophy this week from Gabe Brown from his book Dirt to Soil. Nature doesn't till. Nature doesn't apply synthetic fertilizers. Nature doesn't apply pesticides or fungicides. Nature does not grow monocultures. Think about that. Thank you very much. With gratitude, Amelia Gunningham and the whole Shakespeare Hills team.